gonna go ahead and jump into it. Right. One of the first questions that I really wanted to ask you guys is if you would take a few moments to just talk about yourselves as gamers, yourself as players, and yourselves as PvPers in Terra. You just take it from the top. If Vene, you would be so kind to start.
Okay. Wayne, you want to take the lead? Okay, so, yes, of course, I am Saraph. I'm playing the priest in Enigma. So, do you want to focus on ourselves?
Well,
right
yourselves,
now,
yourselves as a gamer,
Yeah.
Seraph in this case, yourself as a gamer, your history in gaming, your history as a PvPer, or just generally, what did you do before you played Terra? Up
Okay.
until Terra.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of our members are playing massively multiplayer online games for a long time. I myself started with Dark Age of Camelot. It's also a PvP game, and I pretty much started my PvP career there. Yeah, headed over to Warhammer Online and then Ion, and yeah, in all of those games I was pretty PvP focused. This time is actually the first time I'm playing a support character, really. I tried a few baby steps in Warhammer, but yeah, normally I'm just doing caster damage dealers. So this is a new approach for me. I thought that was really interesting in Terra, and that's me in a nutshell.
That's you in a nutshell. Awesome. What about you, Vene? What have you done before you played Terra?
I also played Dark Age of Camelot at the beginning, and Warhammer and Ion and so on. And Ion, we all met us and come together to a little group. We called us Tera Enigma and formed a little PvP group.
Cool.
And I was the healer, the main healer, the clerical in this team. And so I switched to a second healer and more Cecilia, like Mystic. And yeah, I gave the job to Saraph to be the healer in this game. And so, yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much switched the responsibilities around a bit, making it more interesting.
Well, that's the fun thing I really noticed, because when you played, you look like you've been playing a healer for a very long time. I mean, some of the shit I saw, I said, okay, this guy's gonna die now. He's got a berserker in his face, he's got a lancer in his face, he's got an arch in his face. This guy's gonna roll over and die, but you kept jumping around like a Duracell bunny. You just kept jumping and jumping and jumping and managed to stay alive, so you really look like someone who's been playing a healer for a long time. But the fact that this is the first time, or well, at least the first time you really play healer, that's definitely interesting.
We trained it in other games, and in PvE we pull all together, and you have to run like a bunny, and our damage dealer have to kill all.
Yeah, that's because typically we're running groups without a tank, and I have to say, yes, Wayne said we group together in Ion. I was playing a Cecile there, which is in PvP the main focus, so I'm used to being the one everyone tries to, yeah, hit in the face. So I was used to running around, and this what you said, that I really managed to stay alive. I mean, that wasn't just me. There was the group dynamic in our group. I got support from Vena. She was healing me big time. Without her, I won't have survived. Or all the other guys. Everyone was throwing stuns in there to save my ass, and so yeah, it's really a group game, and I really like that about Terra, because yeah, you can't really do shit on your own in there.
Yeah, I mean, like something you said there with the CC from Aeon, and also your Dark Age of Camelot experience, which normally gives very good PvPers. For anyone who's played Dark Age of Camelot for a long time, Everyone I've met is normally generally very good. And that game also factored majorly into, it had huge CC in it. So you've obviously, yeah, it was your first time healing, but I guess if you're an offensive caster before, healing in Tera is kind of like defensive casting instead, because you actually have to target people with your spells. So you're not just clicking the green bars, you're actually actively finding targets the same way you would have. So I can, it kind of makes sense in a way, because as well, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
No, absolutely, absolutely. That's the different aspect, Normally you would be playing an offensive caster, but in this case you really are playing an offensive caster. You're just not shooting with fireballs, you're shooting with heals. So yeah, definitely cool.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, carry on,
that's what I meant with, I really like this aspect to healing in Terra, because, yeah, it's just as you said, it's like playing a caster, but you're not shooting on the other team, you're shooting on your team. So it's, I really love it.
No pun intended there, by the way. Eddie, if you want to go ahead and ask the next question, perhaps?
Sure. Well, a question that naturally transitions from this is, we already talked a bit about your ability to dodge, and your ability to dodge many people, but there was one point in those matches where you dodged 3 melee guys for a long period of time, repeatedly, with Vene healing you, and you were getting support from the team. But I'm quite curious as to how exactly you managed that with a team setup, because while that was going on, you still killed someone as a team. You were taking a lot of damage. The team was supporting you and killing at the same time.
Yeah. So, yeah, one thing we would like to say about our group setup is that we really chose to play a utility setup. So, we rated utility higher than anything else in this game, and that's why we have a Lancer in there, then we have a Priest and a Mystic, and it's the thing that was our tactic, like, survive long enough to have your DPS get the one chance, the little window to kill someone, and that's what we pulled off. I mean, the DPS of the enemy team was mostly focusing me or Winner, and we supported each other to keep that one in focus alive, to just give our guys enough time to just find the opportunity to kill someone. And I mean,
yes,
played out
first the
slightly.
healer have to die in the other group, and so Hot Sauce and Sorensen give all to kill them, and we support the group.
Indeed, indeed. That was definitely some interesting stuff, because at times I would notice some of the other teams and I say, for instance, Barrack Thule and American Fuck Yeah, I said, these guys are definitely competitors, and you probably, if you listen to the stream at all, you would have heard me talking about them quite a bit. And the one thing I actually noticed is that those teams actually ended up being uncoordinated, whereas someone like yourself and Slice of Life from Atra Astrum ended up being the people who were really the organized, and that was a very, very positive surprise, because it really did show that just because you're shiny armor, just because you're pink, just because you're +6 across the board, doesn't mean you're a good player. So that was a big reinforcement for me personally in Terra, and I'm sure it did the same for you guys, because you ended up winning, even because it seemed like most of the time you were fighting 4 on 5, because your Lancer ended up getting killed so quickly. I mean, poor guy.
That was also for ourselves, like when this particular round started, I mean, we were all getting ready. That's when we made it. We were 2 points behind, and we made a little transition.
It was the first time we tried a new tactic.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we have to do it with 4 versus 5.
What was the new tactic?
You want to answer that, Mine?
Yes, the old tactic was that Sorensen play like defensive to Saraph, and I will crowd control the others offensive, and that wasn't a good idea, and so we changed the roles, and he played offensive, and I would say defensive, the one who will kill Saraph, and so we get a little bit
Yeah, the problem what we had with our tactics, I mean, we just stick pretty much to the first tactic that Wayne mentioned the whole tournament. But where's the slice of life that didn't work quite well because we had hot sauce in front of them, and they just kept CCing him. They kept interrupting him from doing his job to kill their healer or to kill someone, basically. So we had to make a transition. We had to put more of our melees in front and use Vene's CC in the back to keep me from dying. And in the end, it really worked. But in this particular fight, where we just said, okay, let's do this. That's our chance. If they win, then we're out. It was like, yeah, our Lancer Tera was charging into the enemy group, and we just heard this donk. This is the sound it makes when someone falls out of the death match. And I was like,
out of group.
Yeah,
yes, I logged the 2 damage dealer to dispelled instantly, and I wait for some CC on it, and then clonk. I look at the group, and a Tera left the group. I think, what's happened?
Well, we heard that clunk too. That's why you hear me on the stream going, did the Lancer just drop out? That's because that was my reaction. I was just like,
and Eric says, oh no! And we don't know what he mean.
yeah.
I think about a DC or something else. And he says, no, it was 21k damage.
That was definitely funny because I was sitting there in the stream and Eddie said, hey, someone died from the Enigma team. I go, what the hell are you on about? And he goes like, yeah, the Lancer just disappeared. I've never seen a Lancer die that fast before. That was definitely entertaining.
Yeah, so did we. This is what we said. We were just really confused. What just happened right now? But we still, I mean, we had a plan, and we just lost that plan. Wayne CC'd the guys that were running
but
after.
But he wasn't part of the plan.
we just gave him the job. Interrupt whatever you can interrupt there.
Poor guy.
I mean, it was his job. He couldn't do it in that part, but we managed to.
But all the time he
did
it in a very well. And
yeah,
so...
I think what saved our ass in that fight, with him missing from like second one, was that they were really surprised by our switch of tactics. That we just put all our melees in their face, and yeah, they didn't know that from the first 2 fights. We were just really defensively trying to. We had only hot sauce up front, and they could just see him to no end. And I think that saved our asses. That they were really confused by this switch, and they couldn't handle it.
Definitely. That was some interesting stuff. We didn't see a lot of tactic change throughout the tournament itself, but this was definitely one of them. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is, have you been active in competitive PvP before? I mean, in general, have you participated in other tournaments, official events, maybe in other games such as StarCraft or anything? I mean, have you been in the competitive scene before?
Actually, I personally, like official tournaments and such things, I personally didn't. We were all players that are all about PvP, but as we said, we met in Ion, and Ion didn't have a community that would organize PvP tournament. I mean, there was one organized PvP tournament in the whole time we played it, but that was about it. So.
But it wasn't group PvP. It was only solo PvP, 1 versus 1, and so on.
It was dueling. So yeah. I personally don't. I know that some of our members have some experiences in this competitive online play.
Sorensen and Guild Wars, maybe.
Yeah, Sorensen took part in Guild Wars tournament. I mean, Wayne, you did some tournaments yourself in your history, but there
Dark
was...
Age of Camelot, but it wasn't a tournament.
Wasn't
Open
that
PvP.
for Counter-Strike that you...
Oh god. Don't talk about Counter-Strike.
Okay, so let's just cut that out.
Please talk about Counter-Strike. We want to know. What's I'm joking.
That's great.
I never played Counter-Strike.
Oh, come on, you're German. Every German gamer has played Counter-Strike. That's a fact. Just like every Danish gamer has played Counter-Strike. It's just a fact. It's just the way it is. But no, we'll leave that one for another time. Perhaps, Eddie, you want to continue for us?
Yeah, so about cat. No, I'm joking. I'm a little curious about what you guys want from Tera. I mean, we've got Guild Wars 2 on the horizon as well, but what do you guys want from Tera? Because, I mean, you came into the tournament well prepared. Yeah, you didn't grind instances for items, but you showed that you didn't need to. At least your Lancer didn't need to. But, sorry, I had to put that in there. He's gonna hate me for that. But it's just, what's your plan for Tera, pretty much? What does Enigma want from Tera?
We want to stay in Terra, and we play PvP for for all the time. A little bit PvE to equip each other, and so we hope the battlegrounds will include, and so we can tournaments do and support you to organize someone, and yes.
Cool. Definitely cool. I'll definitely pass that up the ladder. I'm sure they want all the help they can get. So in general, you don't have any prospects for future games. I mean, right now you're keeping your focus in Tera, and unless Tera fails, you're not going to be looking for another game.
Yes, so right now, I mean, we really love this new action combat that Tera offers, and so do all of our members. So we don't. I mean, we see Guild Wars 2 on the horizon, but that's nobody in our group really says, "Hey, we definitely have to check that out," because we're all about Tera right now. We want to play that, and we feel that this beta gave a really good start. I mean, there was events organized, there were even 2 tournaments, and we really like that start, and we hope it continues in that way, and we just hope that we get a little bit more support from the community or even the publisher perhaps so that events are not going to be disrupted by troublemakers or something. I mean, we just hope that it carries on in that way, that we have good fights.
All right, definitely cool. Definitely cool.
Quickly on that note, actually, with competitive PvP in mind and everything, are you guys like going to be playing on international servers, English servers? Or are you going to German servers?
No, we want to play on the international server.
Awesome. You should definitely, come to our server then. Join for all the events we're going to be doing in the future. We definitely like to see how you guys fare in level 60 or 58, depending on what they allow us to at launch. But yeah. Alright, well, let's move on to the next question. Let's see here. So, you talk about Tera being your focus. What sort of plans have you made yourself within Tera? Now, you've explained that you definitely want to do PvP, you definitely want to perform PvP tournaments, but what measures are you going to take in order to become a better group? I mean, are you going to have multiple classes for multiple setups? Are you going to stick with what you have? Are you going to work with that one strategy you have, that one setup you have right now, and develop multiple strategies for it?
Yeah, right now, maybe you noticed we are a really small guild. We don't have the player pool to like form 5 different PvP groups or form 3 different setups. I mean, we have some players, but that's really limited, and right now we're just focusing on the players that we have. So that doesn't mean that we will be 100% fixed in that setup that we showed in this tournament, but I mean, don't expect us to run a 3 Slayer setup in the future. That just won't be happening. We're kind of limited by the players that are around.
Alright. And you couldn't see yourself potentially leveling more characters in order to develop more setups. So basically, you playing priest and perhaps also playing warrior or archer or something like that.
I mean, I could see myself playing another character, but yeah, normally I think it's better to stick to the main character and really max it out the most, get the most of it what you can, and we fared really well with this strategy, like in Ion. We had one group, we had one setup, and we played it for a long time, but we develop different strategies for this one setup against various other setups. So I think it's not always a matter of the setup you run. It's just how you play it. If you just play it to the fullest, then you can do well with almost anything. So
Awesome.
that's how we
Definitely agree. We're just getting close to here wrapping it up, but before we do, I am sure Eddie has some questions that he has formulated for you guys. So Eddie, if you would do us a favor and regale us with your highly intelligent comments.
Are you referring to my question of is hot sauce really saucy?
Something like that.
Simple answer: he definitely is. He definitely is. Maybe you saw it. Hot Sauce is a really exceptional player that I can say. I mean, if you ask me, all of our players are exceptional, but yeah, we put him on the sole duty to kill guys on his own in our teams right now. So he managed that really well. So he is the saucy one.
Yeah, he's the hot sauce of your team setup.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
we're like hot sauce. Go over them. Anyway, no pun intended there. I'm gonna enjoy that for a second.
Yeah. Oh, you're a sad little man, Eddie. Shit.
Yeah. No, there was another couple of questions actually. When you say you're a small guild, what numbers are we talking? Because we're relatively small as well, so we do really understand that. You know, you can't go out and have huge amounts of people. And one thing that slightly worried me a little bit about Tera was that if we were to completely go out, win a tournament against this huge guild who had like 900 members in one guild, and then they decided to do a GVG. Like, I was just thinking, it doesn't matter how many allies you have. If we only have allies of guilds of 15 and 15 and 15, it'll be the most fun thing in the world when you're PvPing, because you can crush the Zerg with skilled players. But then when you're out on your own in the world, and there's like, they're just walking around in groups of 20.
Yeah,
Now we are 8 players, and it will be 20 4 groups or 5 groups, not more.
well, that's still a fair number. That's a good number. I mean, with 4 groups especially, that was something that we also saw pretty predominant in Aeon, is that a group of 8 people could easily take a Zerg of 20-25 if they knew what they were doing.
Yes, we're against Zerg PvP.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. We definitely hope that you guys are going to end up in the same server as us. But yeah, Eddie, any final intelligent questions before we wrap this thing up?
Well, actually, I was gonna go back to that fight and ask. Slice of Life had that tactic where they would pull you straight away into the meteor. I can't remember, but did that actually catch you out at any point? Other than, I'm guessing that's what killed Mr. Lancer. But when you first saw that, you know, they had that really aggressive start. And like you said, your first 2 tactics were almost, you had one person focused on offense really, and everyone else was focused mostly around defense and utility. So I mean, that super aggressive start, how did that affect you? Because you remained calm, but it must have
freaked you out.
I mean, actually, we just saw this Lancer, this big-ass Lancer they had standing in the front, ready to pull someone, and just, I don't know, someone said, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we standing in front there? Just step away back, let our Lancer stand in front of him and block. And then we just wait. They can come to us, and so none of these Lancer pulls actually into these double meteor casts did actually hit us. It was just in the one fight, Etheric charged in there. He wasn't pulled or something. He charged in there actively and was just it was just knocked out. So actually, that didn't freak us out.
It freaked
in any
him
way.
out.
No, this one action where he just exploded, that freaked us out, but not there trying to pull someone in at the front, because it just didn't work.
No, it really didn't. That's the one thing. I mean, sure, it's a cool tactic, but if they could do it on the fly, that would be something that's effective, because that was
Yes.
pretty. I mean, anyone with a little bit of minerals would be able to see, well, hey, the Lancer's standing in the front. I wonder what he wants to do. Maybe he wants to hug me. I doubt it. So I'm very, very happy to see that you guys didn't fall in that trap. It was a pretty non-ambiguous trap, but yeah.
Yeah, especially when one Lancer standing in front has two gigantic circles around his feet that say, "Come here, you're going to die."
Well,
So-
many teams actually got caught out by it, which is what I was asking. So you know, if for those teams that are listening to this, you know, clearly you missed something.
I wonder what that red circle is.
Exactly.
Yeah, indeed. Right. Well, unless you have any final questions, Eddie, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. We don't want to have people sitting here for ages.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I got my questions done.
You got
I'm
your
happy.
questions?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well,
Same server, but yeah.
Same. You're a retard, dude. This has been Chris and Eddie. We're here with Vene and Saraph from Enigma Guild, and we're really happy to have a chance to talk to you guys. So thank you.
If we may, we would have some last words that we want to
Please.
get
please,
out there.
Please.
Bueno? Okay, so we actually want to thank everyone that was involved in the tournament, so for giving us the great opportunity to get our name out there as PvP players, because I don't think many people know us out there, and that was nice. And in addition, we want to
Yeah, we want to thank some special friends.
Oh, please carry on.
Like the guys from America, fuck yeah. And greetings to NA. And very nice. In this short time of the closed beta test, we met so many, especially players. It's really, really nice to see the community in Terra, and we hope we can fight against something like these players or other players who mind.
Hey, it's alright. Say it's alright. No, but we were very happy to participate in this thing. We were very happy to arrange it, because it was really a test for us to see if something like this could work, and it just looks like it can. So yeah. So Eddie, you want to say goodbye, just so we have your voice just a little bit on this recording?
Bye. No, I'm joking. Thanks a lot for the questions and the answers and everything. I was really excited actually about talking. I probably shouldn't have been that too loud, but I have. So anyway, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks guys.
yeah, thank you too.